Good day, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to you. We are looking at our technical summary video today on safety tips to use when dealing with online shopping. Topic that everybody can definitely benefit from. And I think it's important that we actually look at these topics in terms of the less well-known acts like the Consumer Protection Act. So for the next 15 minutes, I'll be taking you through it. And as always, I'm Letty Janse van Vuren. So today we'll be looking at the safety tips that have been issued by the CGSO, that's the Consumer Goods and Services Ombud, as well as Takealot, one of the most well-known online providers. The focus is both to suppliers and consumers with specific reference to the Consumer Protection Act. All right. Looking at the contents of the video today, we're going to start with an introduction on looking at why it's important. Takealot tips for consumers to stay alert for scams. And that's really how to use your common sense and things that everybody always seems to want to fall for, right? And then the CGSO press release relating to online shopping with the tips for online suppliers as well as for consumers, right? So I'm going to look at that very briefly today. Let's start off with the abbreviations that I use in my video. Will be the CGSO, the Consumer Goods and Services Ombud, and the CPA is the Consumer Protection Act. Why is this important to us? Well, as auditors, independent reviewers, and accountants, the Consumer Protection Act is yet another piece of legislation that your clients have to comply with. Most of them will be suppliers of goods and services, and you then have to assess compliance with that. If they don't comply with the relevant laws, you've then got certain reporting obligations in terms of NOCLAR. NOCLAR meaning non-compliance with laws and regulations. It could include reporting to management, qualifying your audit opinion, reporting a reportable irregularity to IRBA if it's an audit, or to CGSO if it's an independent review. Not even just qualifying, it might just be having an emphasis of matter paragraph on the topic. Right, so it is very important. And non-compliance with laws and regulations, we always have to think about, might have financial implications as well. So depending on how much of a contravention it is and how definite it is that they will be penalized, you might even need to consider things in terms of IS 30 in terms of provisions. So that is in your professional capacity. In your personal capacity as a consumer, you definitely need to be aware of your rights and your responsibilities in terms of the Consumer Protection Act. What could you expect from online suppliers, especially in respect of your online shopping? After the period of COVID, we all know that, everybody's online shopping has increased. I know of very few people that still go to Checkers and Pick and Pay because they use the Checkers 6060, and there's the Pick and Pay ASAP, there's Woolies Dash, there's Spar to You. All of the major ones have now got these deliveries in place so that you can order online, and there are certain risks that go with this. Right, so your clients, if they are suppliers, they've got a duty to comply with the CPA, otherwise they could be held liable, even in terms of penalties and so on. As an individual, your clients also need to be aware of their rights in respect of online shopping. So this really is far, far more far-reaching than you realize at first glance. So both in your professional and your personal capacity. The Takealot safety checklist, as they call it, are the tips for you to stay alert for scams. Takealot have said they will never request banking details or payment via WhatsApp, because a lot of these are now being sent to emails to say, with the link, click here, go and pay your outstanding account or whatever the case may be, or pay your order or whatnot. They will never do that. There have been instances where they have been hacked and they've actually sent out emails on their behalf and sent out payment requests via WhatsApp. Okay. Takealot will also not request payment to enter into any competition. All right. They will not request a payment. Their competitions are for free. Even when I get a notification to say, oh, you've now got this to enter the Takealot competition, please click here, I don't even click on those links. I've gotten so paranoid that I very seldom now click on links. Right. So when people send me links, I know I'm the worst one because I'm so overly suspicious. I'm not taking any chances. They will not charge for the delivery of competition prizes. You can see the links that the scammers and the fraudsters go to. They say that you've won something in the competition. Please click on the link and pay the courier fees of 100 Rand. You click on the link, you pay your 100 Rand, you never receive your prize. And you think to yourself, ah, well, so it's just 100 Rand. You know what? If these scammers find 1,000 suckers out there, that's 100,000 Rand in their pocket for just scamming people to pay for a competition prize that they never really won. So at the end of the day, know that you've got a notification, that you verified it with Takealot, with the online supplier themselves before you click on those links. I always, when I get things like that, I phone to try and confirm. And well, 9 out of the 10 times it's such ob stuff. When the fraudsters want to scam you, they've got like you've won in the OMO competition, or some. Not that I would ever win an OMO competition because I don't use OMO, I use Sunlight. So it depends. All right. You will never have to pay to unlock any deals. Their deals are there. The only thing that they've got is they've got app only deals and then ones that you can do on the website. But you won't ever have to pay to unlock deals. Electronic payment only takes place via the website or the app during the checkout process. So it is a secure site, and from there it will take you to, if you choose to, whether you want to pay via instant EFT, and then you'll go the pay fast route, or you want to do the instant EFT to log onto your banking details. They've got all of that there. Or you want to put in your credit card details, it doesn't matter. All right. You'll never need to pay Takealot marketplace sellers directly. The marketplace sellers are the ones that supply the goods, and they just use it as a platform, right? They've got their own websites, but they also use Takealot as a marketplace. So Takealot have basically increased their offerings by making themselves available to other online suppliers. But just so that you know, you'll never need to pay them directly. The only thing you pay is on the Takealot checkout process. Right, so I think this is even though it seems logical, I think it's necessary that we hear this. And I think these are things that you can send to your friends. If you've got, I know my mom does some online stuff nowadays. And I mean, she's 84 already. I was a bit of a lot lamiki, right? But I mean, in terms of that, I always send her stuff like this because she'll phone me and say, oh, I've won this, or somebody's left me money, and I'm going like, Mom, it's a scam. Relax, don't get excited. Slow your roll. Take a breath and just think about this for a second. At the end of the day, if you get things like this, make sure that it is related to what you actually ordered and the process that you will normally follow. They will never have anything that is outside the norm. The CGSO have issued the following tips for consumers on how you can limit the risk of being defrauded. Okay. Now, my main one, I want to sum this all up and say use your common sense. Think about this. Okay. Number one, shop with reputable retailers and be wary of unrealistic deals. If something looks too good to be true, it probably is. So if you can buy a brand new, what's that new Bucky that they've got, the new Ford Ranger that they're busy producing now in Centurion. If you can buy the very latest Ford Ranger for 1,000 Rand a month for 3 years, that's a definite no-go. Okay. It's unrealistic. Or you've got some brand new computer or the latest Samsung Galaxy S23 for 500 bucks because it's a demo model. Hello, something. How much did they demo on that thing for it to have a value of 500 bucks? So make sure that you shop with reputable retailers. And for that, you know what? On the CGSO website, they regularly issue warnings against certain online retailers. There's Sassy Heels, one of them that springs to mind, and there's reliable what was it? Reliable Goods, or Reliable Trading. They specialize in gaming and electronic equipment. And they issue warnings against them because they'll receive complaints, and then the CGSO will say, you know what, be careful when dealing with them in future, because they are known for not refunding, or they are known for not delivering on time, or they are known for taking your money and just running and not making any deliveries. So have a look at that. Keep your mind, keep your eyes and your ears open. We always have, I do that on the MCLU every month. I'll always have the CGSO documents in there. Do a due diligence by checking with online communities. So go through and have a look at the retailer that you are ordering from. What are the, Hello Peter, there we go. There's a good website. People still use it. So go and have a look. What are the comments on that? How many likes? How many dislikes? What are the comments? Right. How reputable are they? And then thirdly, it says here, exercise caution before transacting with new or unfamiliar e-commerce websites. I remember when Takealot first I always had the pay fast option. So I would use the instant pay, instant EFT, and I would go through the pay fast option, right? And it would go through pay fast, and I would just simply have to put in my numbers and it would take it automatically. Then the first time when they actually said, okay, if you want to do the instant EFT now, we are actually going to open up your online banking inside our portal. And I had to log in through my NetBank account. And I thought to myself, now I've got to log into this account, put in my password, and I'm on a Takealot website. Hey, this doesn't feel completely right. So I was on the phone to Takealot. Yes, I felt like a bit of a blonde bimbo afterwards for asking the stupid question, but I'm not sorry that I did it, because I said to them, this is something that's new now. Is it real? Is it like that? Because I haven't seen anything in the news. What? And they confirmed, no, that is correct. That's the way it gets done now. So there's nothing wrong. Just exercise caution, okay? I always say there's no such thing as a dumb question. You would be dumb for not asking the questions afterwards. Then the CGSO tips for suppliers. This is 100% in line with the Consumer Protection Act. If they want to comply with the Consumer Protection Act, this is what they've got to do. And this is what you can expect from the suppliers, that they display correct pricing. If there's an error, you've got to tell them and you've got to take it off. I once got I got a little one of those shopping trolleys for my daughter when she was tiny. I got one at Spar. And my son actually saw this and he said, Mom, this is only 50 bucks. And I'm like, what? 50 Rand, take it in the trolley now. When we got to the front, it scanned and it was 250. And I said, no. Please go and check where this was stored. And you've got the logo, you've got the number on there and everything. It says 50 Rand. The Consumer Protection Act says I pay what I see. So you've also got to be awake as a consumer. And they've got to be awake to make sure that they display the correct pricing. By the way, I got that little shopping cart for 50 bucks. Right. Well worth it. She's still using it today. Provide a detailed description of the goods and services to avoid them ordering goods that are not fit for purpose. So make sure that you provide enough of a description on there. Display delivery times and communicate delays to consumers. Right, estimated time of delivery. If there's a delay, please make sure that you say out of stock, blah blah blah. We're now extending this. As long as you communicate, disclose key terms and conditions, including the refund and refunds timeframes, the channels that must be followed for that. Display contact details and escalate processes if consumers have any queries. You've got to do that. They did for a while take off the contact center so that you couldn't phone them anymore. And I then still just found their number online and I still contacted them. All right, because they should do that. Avoid bait marketing or overselling, because you've got to make sure that you've got enough stock, or you've then got to say while stocks last in all advertisements. All right, if it is bait marketing or overselling, so that you don't oversell. All right. Avoid accepting money from customers if there's no stock or capacity. Obviously, if you can't deliver, then you can't accept the money. So you either let them know and you make alternative arrangements, and if you can't, then they have to refund. Disclose any other additional costs that the consumer would incur, including delivery costs. So you'll have to say, if you've got free delivery above a certain amount, please order another so and so before delivery takes place. Even with I know we ordered from Shein the other day, and I was petrified because I know I've spoken to a lot of other people that have ordered from Shein and everything, and my daughter was adamant she saw this outfit that she wants for her birthday. So we got it there, and it arrived within like 4 working days. I was so chuffed because they said it would arrive within 3 weeks, and I was really chuffed with it. But believe me, I did my due diligence on the suppliers and whatnot beforehand, and I tried to really get my mind wrapped around it. And I would recommend them again in future. Provide a system for consumers to track their deliveries, obviously. All right, track the orders. All of this has to happen. The source documents are available on those links to you, so you can follow that. In summary, if you are a consumer, you need to be aware of your rights and responsibilities, what you can expect from online suppliers, especially if you're busy doing online shopping. Always exercise caution and what? Common sense when doing your shopping online. Ask yourself, does this make sense? A supplier has a duty to comply with the CPA, otherwise they could be held liable. So they then have to follow guidelines when they do the online supplying. Right. If you feel you still need more detail, we've got our monthly newsletter, our technical alerts on LinkedIn. You can follow SAAA there. Our webinars on demand, which are the recordings that you can access. All right. We have our live webinars, which is advertised via email, and then our MCLU subscription, our monthly compliance and legislation updates. If you subscribe to this, well worth its weight in gold. If you subscribe to this, you will then also receive notifications of these CGSO press releases on a monthly basis. All right. But from my side, ladies and gentlemen, I know we all have at some point in time used online shopping, and it is the wave of the future. So please make sure that you remain diligent and use your common sense. But from me, Letty Janse van Vuiden, thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.